there. Welcome to Do Space's After School Club on Wednesdays. Is Make It. My name is Kim. I'm a community learning specialist here with Do Space, and today we are going to be doing some origami. I hope it's really cool and fun. So for our older age groups, I'm going to be starting out something I think is kind of fun, because we are going to be making a little fun horse, and then if we have time, we might go on and do like a little bird as well. We'll see what we can get done here. But yeah, that's what we're going to be doing today. So hopefully you guys have done origami before. Let me know if you've ever done origami and what some things that you've made. Let's see if I can get a chat view on this. It's my first time on Twitch, so bear with me if things get a little bit crazy. I don't think they will, though. We'll have a lot of fun. So, yeah, so maybe you've done origami before. Hopefully you have. For our younger crew that might be watching, maybe you don't know what origami is, which is totally fine. So origami is like the art of paper folding. It is it's a traditional, traditionally Japanese. So, and there is a lot of really cool things that people have been doing with it, and it is actually a very old artwork as well. So basically paper was invented in China around the 1st century AD, and Japanese have been doing it since around the 6th century, so the 500s, so which is pretty cool. And basically it's just like folding things in really awesome ways to make different things. So today, yeah, like I said, we're going to be making a little horsey guy, which I think is a lot of fun. And then if we have time, like a little bird. So things you're going to need is some paper. You don't have to use like origami paper. I have some origami paper. Basically what makes it origami paper, I'm pretty sure, is the fact that it is, and I will just rip off a piece. The fact that it's an origami paper makes it origami paper is that it has usually a print or like a color on one side, but then the back is white, and so it just allows you to know what's like the front and what's the back in terms of folding and direction. But you can use just regular old paper. I have some just like colorful copy paper that we're going to be using as well. So if you don't have if you just have regular copy paper or construction paper or cardstock, you can use all of that newspaper. You might want to double out. Some things are easier with just like regular old paper, but you probably do it with if you get romance, you probably do it with like wrapping paper. If you have any kind of paper bags from the grocery store, you can cut out that, stuff like that. So the real key to it, though, a lot of times is having either as much of a square as you can as possible, and as much of a rectangle as possible. So yeah, so I'm going to actually be showing you kind of how to make a square, because I'm pretty sure we need a square for our horse today. And yes, we need a square for our horse today. And so if you don't already have pre-squared paper like I do, you can actually do it really easily with just regular copy paper or color paper, things like that, rectangular paper. Or if you don't have a naturally rectangle or square piece of paper, you can always just use good old ruler and pen or pencil, and just mark out, do some measuring, and cut it out from there. So I'm actually going to move my camera down so that you can see our workspace that we'll be doing. So let's move some things out of the way and kind of, get it in there we go, perfect. Okay, so I'm going to actually, we have our square piece, right? I have my square piece. I'm actually going to show you how to make a square out of just a rectangular piece of paper. And so basically the easiest way to do it is you're just going to take a corner. I'm going to have to get used to this angularness. There we go. So you'll just want to take your rectangular piece of paper, and basically you're going to take any of your corners, and I'm just going to do this top one, and basically you're just going to like fold it down so it's even with the opposite side. So it's kind of like you're making a triangle. And what you want to do is you want to make sure it's like even all the way across. So you might have to like, kind of hard to tell. So like you might have to scooch it this way, you might have to scooch the edge this way. You want it to be even, but ultimately you want the point to be like as close to an exact point as possible. And if it's not perfectly perfect, that's okay. But once you have it, you just kind of give it a fold. And I actually have like a craft stick or a, tug depressor, sometimes people call them. But these are really nice because then you can just kind of use this to crease your folds, and then it makes a nice crisp fold because that's going to make it really easy. And you can open it up, and basically then you try and fold it where our fold is right there. We're just going to like fold it across down so that where you're folding, you can kind of see the fold, right? You can see our fold. And then if you just like get that right in the corner, and then even this up as well, you can just make that fold. And then you can just cut that off. I have some scissors here. And I'm just going to try to like get it. I'm gonna pull down a little bit further. There we go, perfect. Okay, so I have basically I've folded this end down enough so that it matches basically this fold and this point match up. And then we're just going to cut off this excess. And you can just cut right on the crease. And I know this like colored paper is a little bit tricky to cut. I might for next week, so I'm going to be doing a series with these, so I might for next week find a colorful board to put this on. So again, it doesn't have to be a perfect, as perfect as you can get it. But nice, okay. But the nice thing about, as we are doing our horse first, so that's one way to do it. So I'm actually going to do it with a piece of paper that's already nice and square, just because it has the white and the colorful side and the non-colorful side. So this I'm hoping will be more helpful visually when you are making your own. So let's get started. So first thing, we are going to be talking a lot about especially for our younger kiddos or younger viewers watching, kind of like getting into fractions with this, because there's fractions and angles, and that's the really nice thing about origami is that you can actually learn a lot about, fractions and angles. There's a lot of geometry to it, so it's really good kind of thinking that. Also, it's really good for hand-eye coordination, just kind of thinking about things like visually. So it's pretty good. So we are going to want to make sure that we are starting with our piece of square paper. And you want to make sure that you have your colored side up. And so if you have a piece like this, you might want to mark with a piece of pencil. Maybe you might say put a C or something there so that so you know which one's your colored side and which one's your not colored side. So you want to make sure you have your colored side up. And we are actually going to be folding the piece of paper in halves along the angles. And I'm actually gonna zoom out a little bit. So there we go. Okay, so we're gonna be hopefully we can get you all. Let's see if we can get this whole. There we go. That's a little bit better. So we're going to be folding in halves, corner to corner. So you're basically, if you want, your top corner to your bottom corner, and your right corner to your left corner. So we are going to be doing that. So you're just making sure that you're and again, if you have something like this, you can use that to make your creases really nice and crisp. And then we'll just open it back up and fold it to the opposite. So we just did this one, and now we want to do the opposite, corner to corner. Oh, lies. We already did that one. So opposite, corner to corner. So, yep. And if you need to, just give it a nice little crease. And so then you want to turn it to your right side. You can kind of see you now put a piece of yellow paper underneath, so it's a little bit easier to see. A little bit. But you can see that we have our creases corner to corner. And now that we are doing that, we want to fold the paper in half along like our straight edges. So we are going to basically fold it so just in half, edge to edge instead of corner to corner. We're going to fold and open up. And then we'll do the opposite. So then basically you have, it's almost like if your pizza was square, then you have cut your pizza, square pizza, into equal parts. So into 8 equal parts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 4 equal parts. So now using the creases that we've made, we are actually going to bring the top 3 corners of the we're going to bring this, so we're going to open it up like this, and we want to bring, basically, if this is, I guess, your top, we're going to bring this one and these 2 kind of down to this bottom one. And then you're ultimately going to make like a diamond like this. So let me redo that. So so basically you're like on these side ones, you're kind of folding in on these creases, folding in like this. And then it's the same, well actually on all 3. You're just kind of folding in on all of these creases that you've already made. So on this crease, and then this crease, and then this crease. And you're just kind of fold it in. So then it makes a nice little diamondy guy. So nice and good. So now we have our nice little diamondy guy, and then we should all only see, like, basically we have the 2 creases on either side. Okay, so now what we are going to do, you are going to basically fold the outside corners towards that center line. So this part kind of gets a little tricky. It's kind of like you are folding, you kind of want to get this edge and fold it towards the middle. Okay. And then down. And so these are actually going to be your legs. We are, and then we want to unfold it. So these are going to end up being your legs to this. So you may not have mentioned it before, but you will need a pair of scissors, not even just to cut if you don't have it. We are going to then cut kind of like down the middle. Let me double check. I'm actually not sure, like, I've done this several times, but now I'm wondering if I've done it right. Let me just double check really quickly. I think I've done it right. That's the funny thing about origami, is that sometimes you have to practice a little bit. And even though I have practiced this before, I've been practicing other things as well, and now I'm second guessing myself. Because I am doing it wrong. I'm so sorry, friends. Okay, so basically, you have your, let me redo this. You have your triangle, right? Oh, it's so good. Or your diamond, I guess. So basically, you kind of have like layers, right? You have this top layer and this bottom layer. You're actually only wanting to fold the top layers inwards, and not all of them. And so you are wanting to, that's right, okay. Because I'm doing this opposite, it's kind of like I'm trying to show it to you. I actually got myself confused. Yes, okay. So, instead of doing this side towards the center, you're actually wanting to bring this in. I apologize for this. You're actually wanting to kind of like get this towards the center, but like this top line, you kind of want to make it as, you want that straight. So I apologize for that. I got mixed up on my directions and kind of, as this is opposite, I've gotten myself mixed up. So let me just start over. We got our diamond, right? We're going to take this corner, we're going to put it towards this middle crease, right? We have our middle crease. And what we want to do is basically line up the edge with the center while also making kind of a, so this is parallel with the crease that, or this is not parallel because basically we just want to go straight across. Let's see if I can just straight across, so just like that. So let me redo that. So we have our top layer and we're just going basically just straight across. So this outside is lining up with the middle. And then we're kind of making this angle, or a straight line across the top, and then a triangle. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to bring this over to the middle. So that it kind of makes another little triangle in itself. See how we did that? Boop. And then we're going to fold this down. We're going to along the crease shown. So basically, we're folding this down. So where this kind of meets this, the top, we want to fold down onto this line. Da-da-da. And we need to, there we go. So then we're going to kind of open this up a little bit. Open this up, guy. And there, that middle, this middle line, we are going to cut along this top crease. And this is going to make our legs. Yes. Boop, boop. We're just going to cut right down the center. And then we're going to have some legs here. La-di-da-di-da. Okay. So now we want to fold the legs upwards. Kind of almost like you want to make it a little bit just like off center, almost like if we were folding from here, almost like if we were folding from this center to the outer corner, from the middle to the outer corner. It's almost like if there was a straight line in between those, that's kind of where you want to fold. And the same with the other side. Basically, the center to the outside corner, if there was a line there. So then you kind of have your these are our legs, and then you are going to fold these in half towards the center. So basically, our legs are up. And you're going to fold in half. I'm going to move that out of the way. So basically, we have almost like, it looks like a little fox face. And we are going to fold in half towards basically this length of this center crease. So just like this on both sides. Okay. And then you're going to turn over and repeat on the other side. So, but now that I kind of have it where I'm viewing you, we're good to go. So, we're going to take our corners and we're going to fold inward towards this middle crease. And we're going to try and keep, like, basically when we fold this corner in, we want this to make a straight line towards our crease. And then the same with the other side, straight line towards our crease. And again, if you need to use, this to kind of get nice and okay, then we're going to open this up. And we're again going to cut down the middle, down this middle crease until you get to like almost this cross section right here on the top. And then we have our legs. Then we're going to fold these upwards. Basically, if we think about it, if we can, where the center, where you cut to, towards the outer corner, if there was like a line that you could fold on, that's kind of where you want to get that angle. Or you can try and line it up with the legs behind it. I'm going to try and line it up with that leg behind it. Here we go. A little bit. Same with this one. We can just line it up with the leg behind it, make it for even legs. So then we kind of have that fox face.
Hey, heads up, Nick will be in 4:30.
Sorry, friends. Walkie's on. And then we're just going to fold in. Just like that. Oh, my creases. There we go. Okay. Now you can see mine's not perfect. You can kind of see some white. If this was like real legit, you would probably not see like any of the white on there. But we're all beginners here, right? Maybe not. Maybe you're like professional and watching and you're thinking, oh my goodness, what's this gal going on about? But hopefully you are like some young kiddos wanting to learn more about origami. Okay. So then we are going to So then we want to turn. So we were like this. Well, I guess it was like this towards me, right? Like if I were doing it towards me, it would look like this, whereas towards me, I'm trying to do it towards you, so you can see it like this. But you're gonna want to turn it, so so you're gonna want to turn it so your legs, but basically the legs are towards you. So I'll turn it towards you. So I'm going to be doing opposite. The legs are supposed to be towards you. And then we are going to need to make creases. So I might not be able to do this without it. With it, I'll do it where the legs are facing me, and then I'll turn it around so you can then see it as well. So we are wanting to make. So basically, if your legs are facing you, your right hand. You are wanting to kind of crease it so it goes from like this middle corner right here, kind of across. But just the top leg. You're just top leg, right? So you're gonna kind of crease it. Oh wait, no. I was really good at this earlier, and now I feel like I've never seen this before, guys. This is crazy. Up. Yeah, like this. Yeah, it's like this. No, it's both legs. Yes. Okay. I'm feeling silly right now. I feel like I'm looking at my thing just to make sure I'm doing it right. And I feel like I've never seen it before, even though I've done it several times. Oh my goodness, friends. I'm so sorry about this. We're going to need to go this way. That's why I have it in the wrong orientation. Okay. Oh, that's right. Gotcha. Okay. I know what I'm doing wrong. Okay. Basically, you're going to be bringing this is, if you think of it, these are your legs. Two. You have your four little leggies. And then this is going to be kind of thought as your head and your tail, these guys, the top guys. So this is going to kind of like bend down, and then that's where your angle gets. Okay, so let me do this so hopefully it makes sense to you. So basically the top angle. So we have our legs. So if it was facing you, these are your legs, and these are going to be your tail and your head. So you're basically going to fold it down. This is your tail. And I'm going to fold it down so that your legs, and then you're almost like folding in on this crease. See how there's this middle crease right here? It's like almost like you're folding in on that crease on both sides. And that's going to make that angle, which then makes your tail. So now we have our tail. So let me kind of undo that. So it was like this. And you're going to almost like bend in and crease in this middle crease on this side, which is then going to create this angle and create your like little tail guy. And then the same thing with this, but only we are going to kind of do it up here, and this is going to be your head. So when you fold in on it, fold in on this crease, and then you kind of, it almost makes its own natural crease, and then it makes your little head. And so when you're done, it should go, you should be pretty good. And if you want to, you can always blunt the feet by kind of tipping them towards the model. So if you, it's kind of the same thing. If you want to, you can kind of like keep the points, or you can kind of hoof them off if you want. Obviously, if I had done some better folding, it would be a little bit better, but. So basically, it should stand up like this. And boom, you have your little head and your little tail. And if you, a lot of times, depending on like the weight of your paper, sometimes you can actually kind of like tip the tail and it'll move. So let's see if I can get it to, oh. Yeah, I think if I had some heavier weight paper, it would be a little bit, I'm just actually gonna like kind of just crease some things down, especially with the legs. Let's see. No, it's not going to. But if you had some heavier weight paper, if you just kind of tip the tail, it might like actually move across your table if you wanted to. So it's just like a cute little guy. And I'm sorry that that kind of, we've been doing so much here at Do Space that I have worked on this like a week ago, and then I haven't come back to it to practice before. So, but we figured it out, right? We got it all figured out. So yeah, so that is a fun little horse. And while I made it seem hard, I think it's actually pretty easy. And the nice thing about it is that you can always like practice and make it even better if you'd like. So that's a lot of fun. Yeah. So we only have about 10 more minutes before I need to finish things up. So I'm thinking maybe I might try another, like a little guy, and maybe try a little bird. Let's see if we can do a little bird, shall we? I think we can do this in 10 minutes. So I'm going to get another square piece of paper. And then I think the nice thing about, like, I have this kind of called Print Palooza. There's a lot. I also have some Christmas origami, which is why I have, like, it's pretty red. But I have some plain green paper that I think I'm going to use for our little bird. Okay, so again, we are going to be, the nice thing about it is colored on one side and not. So if you have a piece of paper that you are needing to, you know, that's the same color on either side, you can always go back and forth. So. One moment. Okay. So we are going to start on our white paper side, or our white paper side or non-colored side. And we are going to go from our, we're going to start as a diamond and we're going to do corner to corner. So we're going to have it corner to corner, so we have two halves. I always think these are like the toughest ones, where you have to get them corner to corner, because you might, like, I always feel like I get one side but not the other, which then I feel like messes you up for the rest of your folds because you don't get it perfectly. That's just my experience. What is your experience with getting folds corner to corner? I always think I'm going to do it perfectly, and then I don't, and I'm always sad about it. Okay, so then we have our triangle. So we just halved our paper diagonally, and now we have our triangle. And now we are going to fold it in half again, where it's going to be your one side of your corner to the other corner. So you are going to, actually, you're going to crease this, you're going to fold it, and then you're going to open it back up. Again, you can, if you need to, get those creases nice and tight with a craft stick. And you're going to open it up. And so you are now, we're going to fold the top of our model down past the base of the, of our model, of our piece of paper, of our triangle here. So that's just, there's a little, and I like to try, and this is what I would do. I would try and kind of like follow that middle crease, because then you kind of know it's in the middle. So it could be easy to like kind of get all veery. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just kind of go down that middle, my point of my triangle, and just go down that middle crease a little bit. And kind of the idea is to kind of get it like in the middle. You kind of want your crease in the middle, as much as in the middle as you can. And then we're going to fold this whole thing in half on that middle crease. So this was where, and I can tell I wasn't very good, because if I turn it over, let's see, you can kind of see how my crease, it's not lining up. So I might try and, that's what I should have done. I should have done it on this side so I can see and line up my that crease. Boom. So I can line up the crease here with the top. And then what you're going to do is you're actually going to fold that in half. But you want to fold it in half so that so this side doesn't have the triangle side that you just folded down. This side does. So you want to make sure that if you folded it down on this side, that you turn it back over. Because we're going to be folding it in half, and we just want to make sure that we're folding it half on the triangle that we just made. So, and then you can kind of at least line things up a bit. You can already tell I didn't do it perfectly. Okay. So then we're going to rotate this so it's standing up. So for basically, if you're doing it, you want it so that the base, this bottom line, is facing towards you. So opposite of what, basically like this. So you want to make sure this part should be facing towards you when you do this. And then we're going to basically fold down the flaps along. If we're thinking, if you could pretend that there was like a line right across here. So basically where this little triangle meets the rectangle, well, if this were a rectangle, we'll say, we pretended that this was a rectangle. Where the bottom of this triangle meets this side of the rectangle. Then we're thinking we want to fold right across there. And maybe if you even have one of these, you could probably just even like try and make it as straight as possible with your craft stick.
and fold down on that line. Again, I don't think it's hard when there's not like creases or you're just kind of eyeing the line. Just do it. Fold it down. Just one side, because obviously these are going to be your wings. And then once you do that, I can already tell it wasn't a very straight line. But you can also make it so another easy way to do it is like line it up as best as possible, but then line this up with this side. So like if I were to do it, I could tell it would be off just by. So I'm just gonna try and line those edges up. And then you're gonna repeat on the other side. And then you've already made it on one side, so then you can just kind of line up your wings. And fold down. So now you can fold your wings up so they kind of sit horizontally. Like this. And so then if you were to, it's kind of like a little paper airplane. If you were to send your bird twirling, it would, like in the air, it would just kind of go around and around. In theory, it should. I cannot guarantee that that it will, but in theory it should. It's kind of like your best laid plans with paper airplanes. You think you have the best paper airplane, which is basically, paper airplanes are basically a form of origami, and then you think you have like your best airplane, and then it's goes like straight nosedives to the ground and you're super sad about life. Hopefully your little bird does not nosedive straight into the ground and you're not super sad about life. Hopefully it's like really fun and to do. So yeah, so friends, thank you guys for joining me for our origami. I'm going to be making some other things for the rest of the month. Some boxes, which are a lot of fun. They're a little temperamental, but they're a lot of fun. And then we are going to, like on the last Wednesday before October, I'm going to make some like scary Halloween fingers, which are pretty cool. So if you're like planning on dressing up for Halloween, you can always do that. So I'm actually going to bring my camera up so you can see me again. And not be too crazy, but yeah, thank you so much for joining me for Make It today. I hope you join us for the rest of the week and also joining us for our other streams. Tomorrow's our Thursday, so it's our kind of like our free-for-all gaming stream. So you'll see me again tomorrow at the 4 o'clock hour, and I'm going to be streaming The Room. So join us tomorrow as well. So thanks for joining me today, and I hope you have a great rest of your week. Have a good one. Bye bye.